Well, hello, Andy Bassist. It's obviously not a pedal demo. Seen a few videos recently, so I thought why not? It's a cool idea. Put up the 5 bassists who have inspired me or do inspire me to keep getting better, or just to, in general, just to play the bass. So here we go. First up, number 1. Sadly no longer with us, Burton. He's probably one of the first guys that I ever heard using effects, or knowingly that I knew that he used effects, and sort of around the era of sort of the first thing I heard was bells, from him, the bell toes. That's probably like the second thing I ever learnt on bass. He just, sort of showed me that it was okay to have little bits of lead and not just sit back, because a lot of metal players just do sit at the back, and it's, especially around that time, not venture away from the root note. And he sort of, it sort of triggered my ear and thinking, oh, that is, bass can be a little bit showy-offy on moments. So I'll put a little link below to my favourite Burton video. Number 2, Troy Sanders from Mastodon. Big fan of sort of just the way he approaches his sound. I think he just wants to be as big behind the guitars as he can. Again, he's not an overly showy-offy bass player. I think he plays for the song, not for himself. Again, a big user of effects, be it in the studio or be it live. Great use of like little reverbs and just really subtle uses that they're here and there. They're not in your face all the time. So again, I'll put a link to my favourite video down below. Okay, number 3. It's probably a bit of an obvious one for a guy who loves using lots and lots of effects and likes metal or progressive style music. It's Justin Chancellor from Tool. I don't remember the first time I heard Tool, but just immediately picked up my ear. What is that? Like, that sounds so cool. His use of effects, like, he's the guy who got me into sort of pitch shifting, chorus, phaser, delay. He uses all of that stuff. It's just, some people will think it's not tasteful. Some people, really hardcore bassists are like, oh no, just plug straight into the amp. That's totally cool. If it's not your thing, it's not your thing. For me, it's just, his lines that he picks, the way, it's just, I just love Justin. The way that he sculpts sounds out of so many pedals, or just, it's just things that I personally would not think of, so it inspires me to think of new ideas and new ways I can put pedals together that I have on my board, and just think outside of the box with some sounds. Sometimes it'll work, sometimes it won't work. Number 4, we're going into sort of away from the guys who sort of inspired me to start maybe getting pedals or just generally start playing the bass. Now moving into sort of people who keep me inspired and just make me want to get better on the bass. So number 4, like I said, is Dave Hollingworth from the band Dorje and also from Tosca. Absolute beast of a bass player. Watching him live, it's like he just owns the instrument. it's such a big sound, it's such a big part of the overall. His tone is amazing, but also just the way he constructs his bass lines and the way he plays. It's a massive, massive inspiration. Definitely after sort of listening or going to see, I've been lucky enough to see them live a few times. Massive, influence to go home, practice, get better, push yourself more, just big inspiration. And I've been lucky enough to meet Dave a few times. Totally down to earth guy, just absolutely ridiculous level of knowledge in sound engineering. Just the guy's crazy. But he's an absolute dude. So definitely check out Dorje in the link below. And then number 5 is a really, really modern influence on me. Probably discovered this guy, or the band that this guy's in, probably about a year ago. And they're called Red Raptors, and the bassist is Pete Rains. He is purely responsible for me getting this thing, my 6-string ESP, which I love. But he plays an 8-string bass, and it's just the writing, like Red Raptors, just the way they write and their music. It's not maybe what you'd expect a typical metalhead like myself to be listening to, but I listen to it from a bass playing point of view. His playing's just off the hook. It's ridiculous. He'll do like 2-hand tapping, but then he'll go straight back into a simple line. And again, I think it's the main thing that I seem to have in common through all these players is some people will say they are a bit show-offy, but for me, they have the ability to be a little bit showy off, but they always just stick to what's right for the song. So if it's right to show off in that section of the song, they will. If it doesn't feel right, they'll pull back slightly. Obviously, for guys like Pete, it's a bit different. In New Red Raptors, it's him with his 8-string, a cello and drums. So he has got to be sort of the driving force, but it's just really, really awesome. Really inspiring music to listen to. Definitely gets you to think about writing in different ways, and it's the main reason why, if you go back on my channel, that I've started a project that hasn't got a name at the minute, but it's just me and a drummer. And he sort of, even if you watch that video and you think, oh my god, it sounds awful, he inspires me to go and just try and push it and just play what I feel. And not everyone's gonna love it, but some people might really like it. So that definitely, I love Red Raptors music. I push it on everyone that I know. They're an awesome band. He is an awesome dude. I was lucky enough to meet them and see them live in a really intimate venue when I went to New York last year. Had an amazing time. They're an awesome band. Live, they're amazing. Recorded, they sound incredible, but live, and like if you live in, or if anyone here goes to New York, they play on the subway. They obviously do shows as well, but they have a spot where they play on the subway. It's just the ability to walk past music like that is something that you definitely don't get in the UK. Probably going to get some hate for that, but it's not something that I know that I've been exposed to in the UK, apart from like when you randomly find a live venue playing a band and you think, oh, this band is really good. Just in the UK, you don't get a band like that playing in a subway. So yeah, that's my 5. Video clips of all the bands are in the description below. Be sure to go and check them out, and give them a like and buy some stuff. Obviously that more relates to the last two than the other three, as I'm probably thinking Metallica, Mastodon and Tool are doing okay, and they don't really need the exposure from this video. But definitely hit up Dorje, Tosca and you Red Raptors, because they are awesome. So yeah, random video, normal stuff will return when my cat's not in the video, hopefully. Have a good day. Andy Bassist, out.